that na like a revision of sorts na visual textual
Yes.
kya tha this time.
Yeah, yeah. Because there will be new people joining in. So
Yeah, ठीक है. तो मैं I'll show that old design also na first.
which old design?
Okay,
The
you
one
are
that I
live
created in the
now. It's working. The stream is working.
ठीक है.
Yeah, and it's also public.
Okay.
I think you will need to, yeah.
Shall we start?
Yes, let's give me 1 second. I'll start the webinar. Hello, everyone. A very, very, very good evening to all of you. All the ones who have started saying a hello, a very warm welcome to all of you. And as we always say, give us a little bit of where are you from, what do you teach? We'd love to know a little bit about you. We'll wait for a few minutes for our other friends to join in, and we'll get started soon.
Hello and good evening, everyone. And we can see a lot of hello and good evenings coming up. And of course, there's a message with a lot of love from Bhutan, it says. So keep that coming, keep that love coming. We are very, very appreciative of all the love and enthusiasm that you show when you come for these Canva workshops. So good to see you, all of you. We can see people from Ladakh, people from Hyderabad, and from Muscat coming in. So good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, rather, if you are in Muscat. Hi, Supriya. Yeah, that's nice. Hi, Nikita from GD Goenka. I can associate then, this school, this place, this city, and then you can associate with each other as well. We are working very hard to make sure that this community grows organically and all of you get to know each other not only by just name, the school name or the city you belong to, but also the kind of work that you're doing. Some amazing artifacts have been shared with us, and we love to display them around. And I think you get to know each other as well, and you can share in this community space as well. There are a lot of WhatsApp groups we have, there are Facebook pages, so join them and flaunt your work. We would love to see your work. Good evening, Ankita. Lovely. Dr. Mehraj from Oman. Hello, good evening, good afternoon. Hi, Shikha. I've just finished a session with Silverline and I told them, you better be here. So I can see a lot of Silverline teachers here as well. Thank you so much for joining in. There's somebody from Manipur. Lovely. Nagpur. Danya from Dubai. I think a lot of you are in CBSE schools abroad. So, welcome to all of you. A lot of familiar faces and a lot of familiar names. So we also have somebody who's raised their hands. May I request you to be a little patient? We will have time for showcasing your work at the end of the session. It's just that there are so many people in the session, it's difficult to take your queries right now. But if you see at the bottom of your screen, the Zoom screen, you will have two buttons which are of use for this sessions today. There is one for resources, and in the resources button, Vibha will be adding a lot of links for you to have a look at. And then there is a Q&A button as well. My sincere request that when you write in the chat, your question just goes away and we can't answer those questions. My request to you is that if you go to Q&A and put your question there, there's every chance that we will reply to those questions. So two buttons on your screen. Resources is where all the web links will come up, and Q&A is where you can write your questions for us.
Right. As ma'am was saying, we can see quite a lot of people from different uh, parts of our country. All the only good evenings coming in. May I request you as well to tell us where are you from? What do you teach? This is something we, as again, ma'am was saying that we're trying to build a community. We want to know you. We want to know where are you from, what do you teach, and how can we help you further, and hence the need for us to know you better. So please tell us if you are okay with that. And I can see a lot of more coming in. Great. I can see a lot of people from Bangalore. Oh, Chhattisgarh is also here. Great. Oh, I love that. There's a resin art teacher. Amazing. I've been thinking of trying out resin art myself, but I've not been able to. So maybe I'm going to catch hold of you very soon. Great.
This is what I'm saying, Vibha, that
Yes,
when we have a symbiotic community, I learn from you and you learn from me, that's
absolutely.
when the success goes up. So
Absolutely.
lovely. I'm glad you identified a goal for yourself. Oh, that's a maths teacher. I'm very, very scared of maths. Another maths teacher. Just got attracted to Vibha, I think, who has been a math educator.
Okay, great. We have our numbers coming up. We'll just wait for another minute or two maximum
Yeah.
and we'll get started because we really don't want to waste the time of the people who have joined us already. So others can, of course, keep joining in, but we will get started another minute. Oh, I can see there's somebody saying, Neetal ma'am saying, I'm also a math teacher. So we will start getting this now. Great. I can see somebody from Darjeeling. Bangalore now, DPS Bangalore North. Okay, great. We're very, very sorry if we miss because the chat goes super fast at our end. It becomes a little difficult for us to. Oh, there's another maths person there. Rohit sir. Hi.
They're just
That's.
out to scare me, Vibha.
And I like the way he wrote, I'm Rohit Upadhyay, maths with a. Great, great. Lovely having you all here. I can see a Kashmir mathematics teacher as well. So this has become a math session now. Oh, great. We have a Punjabi teacher. We have somebody from Surat. Computer science teachers, of course. Great. A lot of our Ladakhi friends are also joining us. All right, give us just one more minute and we will get started. Deepti ma'am, should I share my screen first? Okay, all right. I thought there was some issue at your end.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So I'm going to start presenting.
Sure, sure.
Good to go, Vibha?
Yes, ma'am, let's go.
So, hello everyone, and good evening once again. My screen, as you can see, shows you static to dynamic. We spoke about multimodal resources, and today we are going to be talking about how these resources are going to just become dynamic for you to be able to engage your learners. Now, when we talk about multimodal resources, we all know that the engagement just goes up, just levels up. We have improved understanding, deeper understanding from the children. But most importantly, I think a whole lot of us talk about differentiated lessons, differentiated assignments, and this is something which is I am guilty of. When in my as a teacher, 30-35 children sitting in front of me was very difficult to be able to cope with all of them and to be able to hold my head high and say, this is something that I can do very, very well. So, just very quickly, I wanted to flaunt my badge today. So, I am a certified trainer. So, that is something I'm very proud of now, and looking forward to Vibha becoming one as well. We do have Sakshi who's with us. Um, but she's in and out in meetings as well. So I'm going to be, taking her name because every credit goes to her to be able to make this entire experience. So even if she is in and out of meetings as we speak, the credit goes to her for getting all of this together. And Vibha, of course, everybody knows. And we also know that Vibha is going to be showing us a lot of hands-on today. So I'm also be going to looking at the various tricks that she does on the screen for us. Looking forward to that. Vibha, over to you for a quick hello.
Hello, everyone. Really looking forward to kind of picking up from where we left off last time. Again, for the ones who maybe have joined us for the first time, don't worry. We will, make sure that we're good teachers. We'll do a little bit of revision and then take forward with our topic, then go forward with our topic. So, a very warm welcome to all of you and really looking forward to this session.
Great. Uh, we are going to, like Vibha said, we are going to be, repeating some of the things that we did so that there is continuity. Just like a teacher, do a prior knowledge check and then move ahead. We are going to be talking about how Canva does what it does beautifully and all the things, all the pedagogic elements that we talk about in multimodal. How does that satiate all your learning needs? We are going to be looking at the second phase of multimodal. We spoke about using two or three aspects of multimodal together, but today we are going to amp up the game and we are going to make sure that you understand the highest level of what you can do with Canva for creating these multimodal resources for your classroom. We will have a showcase at the end. So make sure that when we have the showcase, you are there with us, showing off something exciting, the work that you're doing along with Vibha. So my request to you right from the beginning is, as we speak, please start making things as Vibha does, because we will ask some of you to come on ahead and showcase that. So over to you, Vibha, now for this poll, and then starting the session for today.
Thank you, ma'am. And just quickly dropping the link in the chat. There you go. Okay. So what we're doing is, as ma'am just said, we're doing a quick poll. Give me 1 second, as my screen is just coming up. Um, we're just doing a quick poll. We really want to understand how many people here are familiar with Canva. How familiar are you with Canva? That is something we'd like to understand. Again, as we were saying right at the start, this is something we would like to understand, and we would like to know about all of you here. And if you can start doing this quick poll, it will be very helpful for us to know. I am just sharing all the responses that I'm just receiving. In another second, they'll be up. Okay, here you go. Okay, there are a few people who are writing in the chat box as well. We're looking at those as well. We are pretty much at the level. I am just wondering, why is this not showing up the results? Divyam, can you check once if the link is working fine?
Sure. Okay, so what we are showcasing here is an integrated form of Canva, wherein you can have, yeah, it's showing up, Vibha.
All right, all right. So then could be a lag at my end. Basically, I'm not able to show this right now. As I was saying, as ma'am was just saying, this is an integration of forms, which is another very, very amazing feature that Canva has. This is an integration of forms within Canva. And I'm very sorry, but right now there is a lag at my end, and you're not able to see the votes that are coming in. And this is something, you can just come up and you can click on it, and I will be able to see the responses. As the teacher, you should be able to see all the responses that are coming in fact, once when you also click on this, you must also be seeing all the responses that are coming in. So I can also get a little, I'm seeing mostly familiar, unfamiliar range kind of people. Familiar, like, we are pretty much in the center. Familiar, trying to join internet. I know, I get it. Internet bails on you the day you need it. This is something that happens with all of us, don't worry. So you can keep writing in the chat box.
No, but
Basically,
it's
the
showing
idea
up
was,
now, Vibha. It is
yes,
showing up.
it is showing up now, absolutely. So the idea was, again, to be able to show you this forms integration, and of course to get to know a little bit about you. How familiar are you with Canva? How comfortable are you with Canva? We can see a somewhat familiar and a familiar kind of range from most of you, right? And again, of course, there are a lot of you who are writing in the chat box as well, which is perfectly fine. So for now, we're just moving forward, and we're going to talk a little bit about a few things that Canva is coming up with. One small thing for today, our session is from 5 to 6:30. So be a little careful about that. Completely understand, it's an evening, it's a Friday evening. You want to take your cup of coffee and just watch us. You want to try along with us, nothing like it. As ma'am was just saying, if you can try along with us, please do. But if you've had a really, really heavy week and you just want to watch today, that's also perfectly fine. But do stay with us, because I'm sure there will be a lot of little things and little ideas here and there that will be shared by us, and of course, all of you. So do stay with us, and we're going to go through a lot of things together, right? And with that, I am just going to share this one thing. which is the Canva World Tour. It's happening, started in October. It's going to happen through November. I'm just going to share the link in the resources as well as in the chat box. Do explore this, do explore the sessions. And this is something, Dityam and I both love doing. Sometimes, sometimes we just get, as teachers, we tend to get stuck in the circle of my school or my district or my state, my city, or something like that. It's always a good idea to just hop into a session that's happening in maybe an Australia or a Spain or a Belgium and hear what the teachers there are doing, right? And Canva World Tour is something that can offer you that. You can just open this particular website that I've shared in the chat box. Just open it. There are a lot of sessions. Of course, there are a lot of sessions that have happened in person. Not really possible for all of us to attend all sessions in person. But yes, the sessions that are happening online, why not? Whether it's a session happening in Amsterdam or a Spain or a Germany, do try it, hop in, watch it, see what is happening across the world, see what see, the amazing ways in which teachers across the globe are using Canva. There is so much for us to learn from. And of course, the Children's Day Design Challenge. We have started receiving some very good responses. We have started receiving some good registrations from the teachers. And in case you've not received a sheet yet, don't worry. It will be shared with you within the first 2 days of the next week, say by Monday or Tuesday. A lot of you have already received your registration sheet, your submission sheet. A few of you are yet to receive. Don't worry about that. Start sharing it with your kids. Start encouraging them to come up with something. As I told you last time as well, we have some little surprises. We have some little gifts for the teachers also, who get us a good amount of submissions, a good number of submissions. Of course, not just number, not just quantity, as quality as well. So if you get us a good, if you encourage your kids to register, you encourage your kids to submit their amazing designs, there are a few Canva goodies for you, and there are also a few Amazon vouchers for you. So that's waiting for all of you there. And I will, in fact, very quickly open the website once again, just in case you are new and you have not seen this particular website. This is how it looks like, right? The theme for this particular theme is the world as I see it. It's basically a reflection of what the child wants, right? What they want to see in this particular world. How do they imagine their world? And they just have to use Canva Education to create, whether it's a poster, a video, an animation, comic strip, collage, anything. There's no hard and fast rule about the kind of format that they need to submit. It can be anything. You just have to fill out this registration form, basically show interest, tell us that you're interested in registering your kids. So please be a little careful. While registering, it needs to be done by an adult, because we really don't want to get into the student data privacy issue. So as a teacher, as a parent, as a school principal, as a school coordinator, as an adult, basically, you need to register your students. Now again, as I said, you could be a parent who's registering one child, you could be a principal who's registering some thousand students. Just fill out this form, and we will share a sheet with you, we'll share a spreadsheet with you, wherein you can start submitting the children's design. So basically the child's name, their design link, that is something that you can start doing in that spreadsheet. Of course, right here on my screen, what you see is what our kids can win. They can win iPad mini. So we have one iPad mini for all three categories. There are three age categories, so the winner of every category gets an iPad. And of course, there are going to be about 4 or 5 special winners, special mentions in each category, who are going to get Canva goodies. Everybody, whether they win or not, get participation certificates, and along with that, their designs are going to be featured on this official website. And as I was saying, there is a lot of teacher appreciation involved. I've just shared with you. And of course, the top schools will also be listed right here. And the highest number of submissions, there may be a few schools also who get like a little lot of Canva goodies for them. And then, of course, I'm sure you must have seen this link already in the chat box. um, Sakshi has already shared this. You have the access to the teachers community. That's a Facebook group. That is something I always suggest for teachers to do. Do not stay within my school or my city or like a friend in that particular school that I know. Don't let your brain, just be limited to that. Explore more. Join such a community wherein you can see teachers from across the country who are, how are they using Canva, what did they create, whether it's a personal thing that they've created, whether it's a thing for the students that they've created, whether it's a design for the school that they've created. You can, see and learn so much from such communities. And of course, as I was saying, we're going to feature the student designs, and we're going to feature the top teachers who are going to give us give good designs, and that's where it's going to come very soon. These are the goodies that will be given. And of course, if you are a full-time working teacher, you can get yourself verified, and you can go ahead and have access to free Canva education. Which brings me to our next thing. We have a little activity planned before we move ahead, before we talk a lot about how we are doing multimodal learning, how are we creating multimodal designs. We have a little activity planned for you. Sorry, give me 1 second. I am just going to show you how it looks like. All right. What we're doing is, I'm just going to share this template with you in another minute. I'm just going to explain this to you, and I'm then going to share this with you because I don't want everybody to get uh, distracted while I'm explaining. Right here is what this particular template looks like. So what are we doing right now? We are going to use one of these templates that are there, and we're going to create a social media post for ourselves, right? I'm just going to wait for 5 minutes here so that you can create. Of course, if you feel like, you might want to change something, add something, you want to wait for the session to finish and then post it out, feel free to do that as well. That's also not a problem. What are we doing here? We are going to write down how much did this multimodal resources excite me, and what am I planning to create for my next lesson. And of course, I really want to make sure that my students, I channel their creativity, and I want them to participate in the upcoming Children's Day student design challenge, right? So this is one option, this is another option, and of course this is also one option, that I'm a proud creative, I'm proud to be a creative teacher, right? So just pick any of these templates and put it out on any social media that you use, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, anything it is that you use. Pick any one or all three, your wish. Or if you feel like, I am more creative than this, I want to create my own thing, do that. Just put it out on social media. Make sure that you tag us, make sure you use these particular hashtags. If you can just tag us straightforward, nothing like it, but of course, even if you use these hashtags, we will get to your post. These right here are a few suggestions, a few suggested captions. So, if you're like me, who's every single day, who spends like half an hour, okay, now what do I even write while posting this particular thing? Just pick up any of these captions and put it out on social media. Just pick up a template, create an image out of it, put it out on social media, right? And with that, I am just going to share the link with you. Give me 1 second. It should be there in your chat box in one more minute. There you go. Okay. This is what you should be seeing, whether it's on a phone or a laptop. You will be seeing that a template created by Team Mahatattva was shared with you. You just have to click on view template and you will start exploring. So just waiting for a few minutes here. If anyone wants to talk about something, ask something, anything, you want to check with us before we move forward, We would love to hear from you. All right. The ones who are just entering, we want to know about you. Where are you from? What do you teach? Don't give us just a good evening. Talk a little bit about yourself as well. And of course, the others who have started working, I have shared the link in the chat box as well. I think ma'am is putting in the resource column as well. Am I right? Yes, I can see her doing that. So we as I said, I'm just going to wait for a minute here. Any thoughts, any questions that are coming to your mind, anything you want to discuss? As I said, you want to just keep that template saved, and you want to do it later, you want to post it later. Maybe you've joined for the first time, you want to learn about multimodal resources first and then post about it. But just make sure that you do post about it, because we'd love to hear what it is that you're creating. The ones who are just starting off, who are completely new to Canva, just one more minute. I am going to talk a little bit about the basics of Canva as well.
So there are some people who have their hands up. Maybe we can unmute them and get them to talk.
Yes, if somebody wants to do that, give me 1 second. Okay, if you have your hands up, we are going to assume that you want to talk.
Yes.
So, so please make sure, if it's by mistake, do you just delete that? You remove that. Okay, I am just letting Mr. Soyam Ajay.
Go ahead. You have a question? Please go ahead and ask.
Oh, I love that question that's there in the chat box. Ma'am, how to get kids back on track after vacation? I am sorry. I don't have a solid answer to that.
Yes, that's a very difficult
Very
thing.
difficult thing to
Yeah.
do.
But
Absolutely.
if you make your classroom engaging, they
Yeah.
will not want to go on vacation. So that's dangerous as well. Yeah.
Right.
But I think, Kathy, when we talk about engagement in the classroom, and I remember in my own classroom, children would say, "Can we come back in the during the interval? Because I want to work on my design thinking project." And I think that is a point where the teacher can say, "Okay, my lesson was successful." So getting them back is not a difficult thing if you can make your lessons engaging for them. And Canva sure is a wonderful tool to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
So I think Ajay
Let's,
does not want to speak,
yeah.
and there are some hands up, but let's see. We will ask them to come to the center stage right after the session is over. You can go ahead, Vibha.
Yes. Just getting started. And as I was saying, for the ones who've joined us for the first time, giving it a few minutes and talking about the very, very basics of Canva. What is Canva education? Now, canva.com, www.canva.com is a design tool. It's meant for everybody in this world, whether you're a full-time professional or not, whatever profession it is that you do. You can use it, whether you're a chef or or a designer. Of course, if if you're a chef or an engineer or anybody, you can just make use of Canva. There is something called Canva Pro, because this is a discussion we have with teachers a lot of times. They say, I have been paying for Canva Pro for the last 2 years. Please don't. You have something called Canva Education. You're a teacher, and Canva Education is completely free of cost for teachers, right? For all K-12 teachers, for all currently working teachers, it's completely free of cost. And how do you get that? I'm just going to share this link again in the chat box. When you use this particular link, you just have to put in a little bit of effort. When I say effort, it's like 5 minutes of effort. What you have to do is you have to put in details about yourself, which means you have to put in details: your name, your email ID, your school name, your city, things like those, right? Your and of course, you might also have to put in your school website, your country. That's it. Takes like 2-3 minutes. Put that, continue, and then upload one document. When I say document, it is any document that can verify that you are a currently working teacher, right? Whether it's a salary slip, whether it's an appointment letter, whether it's an accreditation letter, whether it's your school identity card, whatever it is, that document should show that you are a currently working teacher, right? And that's it. It just takes about 24 hours, and you get a message, you get a mail from Canva saying that you're into the program, and you can start designing with Canva. Having said that, if you are a school coordinator, if you are a school principal, if you want your Canva usage in your school to be much more aligned, you want it much more channelized, it is a very, very good idea to sign up to Canva Education as a school, right? Again, I've shared this link in the chat box. So whatever starred link that you will see, sign up. Your whole school is meant for the whole school. Sign up for individual teacher is meant for individual teachers. So what you need to do as the school coordinator or principal or in charge, you have to sign up there. Now again, you'll need to put in a few details. Now details like, your school website, your school registration, there is the CBSE number, or whatever board it is that you use. There are a few registration numbers that the schools have. Again, basically verifying um, that nobody like me who says I have a Vibha public school and I want Canva. Basically, I just need to verify that it is a registered school, right? And you just, again, a 5-minute job as an in charge, as the coordinator, and you can get started on that. And that really helps you channelize every Canva usage that's happening within your school. You can send it, you can have your 100 or 200 teachers, however many teachers it is that you have. You can have them in one team. Teachers can create classes and give out the same access to their students as well. Can create assignments with their students, can get them to submit, can get them to respond, I mean, basically give them feedback. The whole process can happen within that. And if as the school in charge, as the school principal, I have created Canva, I've got Canva Education for my school, I can even choose the kind of features that I want my kids to have. Maybe there are certain features that, according to my school policy, do not work for my students. I can even control that, right? And hence, we always say that if you're a school, please go ahead, sign up to Canva Education as a school. No point in having all your 100 teachers have an individual account and then, you know getting their kids added, so on and so forth. So it's always a good idea to keep it all channelized. And of course, if while signing up, any doubts, any questions, any thoughts, anything it is that you come across, please drop us a mail. We'd be more than happy to help you out, right? And with that, I will request Deepti ma'am to come back and get started with our session, which is basically on multimodal learning. We'll get started a little bit about what is multimodal learning. Of course, the ones who were there last time know it, but even for the ones who have joined us today, we can get started on that. I can see a
Sure,
lot of.
thanks a ton, Vibha, for that. And I am not going to take too much time here because these are something that as educators we understand and we relate to. But there are some things that we need to, dig sometimes in and say, okay, what was that I really, really believed in? Let me just look at it and try once more. And when the resources are available to you, when the tools are available to you and which make it really easy for you to do, so then those become really seamless for you to try in the classroom. So if we can go next, Vibha. When we talk about multimodal, we are talking about WAC. We are talking about the visual, the auditory, and the kinesthetic. And you say, most of the times when we talk about the digital tools, how do the children actually get to do stuff. So last time when we spoke about how the posters can come alive with QR codes, and how you can get, something, treasure hunt with the children. How can you get them to look at something, go and research somewhere out, and then create their own presentations, look at storyboards, do frame by frame video recording. And also we spoke about how multimodal can actually deepen your learning. So when we talk about visual graphics, we look at auditory, wherein you can express what you're talking about, look at textual, because that's where your language comes in. So in most of the things, when we talk about the developmental stages for the children, we do understand that communication is one of the biggest and the highest form of expressing what you've learned, whether it is reading from what the teacher is asking you to do, or it is expressing or articulating your own learning. Most of us find that children today, that is something that they are not able to express. Most of them don't want to write, most of them don't want to type. But articulation of your expression is a very, very vital thing that we need to understand, and to be able to integrate it back into our learning. And of course, kinesthetic, where you have drag and drop, you have QR, so all of that just comes alive. And the metacognition, the deeper learning, happens when you expose the children to all kinds of learning. So here I'm talking again, I'm going to go back to that guilty Deepti Sahani in the classroom saying, oh, I do differentiation, but I didn't have enough tools to be reach out to every learner in my classroom. And that is something which technology just takes care so beautifully. So when you make sure that the cognition, the memory, and the metacognition is happening, it will only happen when you expose the children to multimodal learning. And that's our basis of what we are talking to you about. If we can go next, Viva. So look at all of this as combining the multiple modes of learning. So here in this case, so if you think that in my classroom, I need to be able, so your learning outcome actually demands you that the children should be able to express visually, or they should be able to express in their words. So what are the various things that you can get them to do? So let them find out the analysis of what they've learned through an infographic. Let them do some storyboards to be able to articulate what they've learned. Let them do mind maps. Let them do get creative and do book cover designs, and maybe redesign as well. You have an old Oliver Twist. Get the children to read. They can have multiple perspectives. Every child will have a different kind of a learning. Let them redesign that poster. Gets them to understand art in a very, very different way. So if we can go next, Vibha. So here you have the auditory and visual. How you can do storytelling, how you can do podcasts. Just today, we were in a school where the children were doing podcasts. So imagine planning that, writing the script, getting the questions, not only writing the questions, but also decision making. Which questions should be asked, because the time limit is just 5 minutes. So how do we do that podcast? What are the decisions that we need to make? Musical interpretations. And I remember doing this in a school wherein the children were doing a Hindi project. It's something that they had to do for the Hindi teacher, but they were expressing it in a dance form. And there was a student who was taking a video of it, documenting for the e-portfolio. And Vibha will be talking about the e-portfolio development today. I mean, how amazing is that for the children to go back 10 years, 15 years from now, and to be able to say, this is what I was and this is what I've developed. So metacognition just there for you. If we can go next, there are lots and lots of examples. I will not be talking about each one of them. Vibha has demonstrated a lot of them in the last session, and today we are just going to take it higher. So textual and kinesthetic, how do we get them? Some of them I just told you. How do we do the search rooms? How do we get the children to do QR codes? How do we get them to do things? How do you get your posters to talk and become kinesthetic? How do you get them to do drag and drop? So all of that becomes live. Make sure that there are not only something that they're reading, there's something they're seeing, something they're speaking about, and something they're articulating their thoughts about as well. If we can go next. Here we have visual and kinesthetic. Get the children to do stop motion videos, get them to do frame by frame articulation, animation, all of that. And one of the things that I really like in Canva are the mocks that you can do for your design thinking prototypes. Something that is super amazing, and if you explore them yourselves, you will be able to see and support your children with that. And finally, I'm going to come on to this one that we are going to. Oh, so there's auditory and textual as well. And I just lost count. There are four slides that we have made for you, just giving you suggestions on what can happen when you work with the children with multimodal elements. And here we are talking about auditory and textual. Please see, there is a very nuanced sort of an approach wherein you can choose. Do you want to do visual and textual? Do you want to do visual, auditory, and textual? That is something you will define looking at the learning outcome for that particular lesson. So, what is that you want the children to do as an output? And that will define your entire task that you are looking for. And finally, we are going to come on to the fusion that we are going to see today, multimode fusion. So, looking at interactive posters, looking at portfolios, looking at newsletters. Newsletters, you must have seen schools and colleges doing a series of page after page with an image and with some text on it. But you can get the children to do, whole lot of visuals, a whole lot of videos which can be integrated. And as a or a digital newsletter, everything comes on to that one page or a few pages that you share with your community. I really am very, very fond of explainer videos, because if you look at constructivism as a pedagogy, you get the children to be able to express. Even if you look at the 5 E's, where the children express what they've learned, for you to be able to do a formative assessment right there. Oh, this is what they've learned, and this is where I need to take them. So, target setting can start with the little capsule that the children have made in the explainer videos. And my evergreen favorite are the website, the Canva websites. The one that Viva showed you just now for Children's Day, it just gets made like that, and it's there for you to be able to reflect, to be able to do your student led conferences. Just put it up on the screen, and they're so easy to upload and so easy to share. The children know what they're doing, the children know what to express as to what they've learned, and the parent as a community to know this is what my child has done in school. I think that just takes the cake for me. Over to you, Vibha, for the demo of all of what we are talking about.
Thank you, ma'am. And just a few things before I start with, I go real time into Canva's screen. I know we've been getting a lot of such messages saying that, oh, you did this particular session on this particular day. I have forgotten, but you did do something. We're really working on putting it all together. So this is a monthly thing that we've been doing. We will continue doing, and we really want you all to have access to, although all these sessions are available on YouTube. But what we're going to do is, we are working on that. We are going to put all the sessions together in one place, so that at any point in time, let's say 6 months from now, you want to revisit, okay, what are multimodal resources? Or you know you quickly want to see, okay, I remember that DTM had talked about some 5 options. I want to go and revisit that one option. So we are going to put it all in one place. All these videos, all these recordings are going to be in one place. And of course, now since you've registered with us, we will be sharing that particular platform with you, and that will be a Canva website. So at that, I am just going to talk a little bit about Canva. As I said, for the very first timers, complete first timers, this is meant for them. Just a few minutes of the basics. This is how the canva.com homepage looks like. This is, if I scroll down, these are all the designs that I have created, right? On the left hand side, right here, is this create button, the plus create button. This is where I can get started and I can create anything, starting from a happy birthday card to a website, to a whiteboard, to a form now, to spreadsheets. I can create anything within Canva, right? And this is the button that can help me do that. Homepage, of course, everyone understands what's a homepage. Classwork, again, as I was just mentioning, that I can have classes. So my school has gotten Canva education, and it has given access to the 100 teachers that are there in the school. Now, as the science teacher or the English teacher, I have decided to do an assignment with my students using Canva. So what I can do is I can create a class with my 30 or 40 or 50 students, whatever it is my class size is. um, I can create a class there, and I can send out assignments on that particular class, right? And then again, the whole process can happen within. The child gets the assignment, the child attempts the assignment within Canva, sends it back to me. I can, assess it, I can give it back to him or her, whatever it is. The whole process can happen within a Canva class. So all my classwork will be listed here. We will, again, I'm sure, because this is a question that a lot of you have shared with us already. We really want to understand about classes, the process about classes. We are planning a session soon on that as well. The projects is again places, the designs that I have created. Now again, my design could be a very very high level document or an appointment letter or something like that. As an admin, I'm creating an appointment letter, or as I said, it could just be a happy birthday card. This is where I find everything that I've created within Canva. From here, I can also create folders. If you see right here, I'm just going to click on this plus button, and I'm going to create this new folder. Let me call it Demo November 6. Just writing today's date and writing a demo. I can even choose that, okay, again, maybe I'm the school principal who has created a folder which is meant for all the, let's say, all the important notices or all the important templates that my teachers need to have access to, right? So what I can do is, of course, I can keep it personal, and maybe I want all the teachers. Now in this situation, I want all Mahatattva team members to look at this, to be able to have access to this particular folder. Do I want them all to be able to edit it? Do I want them all to be able to just view it, or not share it all? So right here also I have an option, especially when there are a lot of regular things that need to be shared with a larger group of people. So it's a good idea to create a folder and just tell people that, okay, this folder is where we collate all our stuff. In fact, as even as an HOD, a lot of resources that you might need in your department, create one folder, put it there, ask all your department members to have share their access with all of them. And then of course, you can keep putting in all the resources, all the documents in that particular thing, right? And as I was saying, this is how the folders look like. It's always a good idea to start organizing your designs in a folder as and when you start working. It's never too late. If there are, because I did see there were a few people who were saying that I use it every day. Great. But I'm very sure 90% of the people have not been using folders, who've just created a huge mess of their Canva homepage. It's never too late. Spend some time, create folders, because there are a lot of extra designs, a lot of blank designs also lying in your system. So create some space, create some, put create those folders. Of course, space is unlimited, that's not an issue, but uh, create those folders, put your work, organize your work in those folders. Your brain will thank you a few months from now. Right here are a few templates. Again, sorry, happy birthday card is the simplest thing that comes to my mind. But happy birthday, happy Diwali, happy new year, whatever it is, a worksheet, a presentation, a document, an email, an education website, a poster, a video, all these things, anything that it is, I might want to design, I can just pick up a template from there, right? Even class schedules and lesson plans, certificate templates, right? A lot of things you will find right here. The best way of exploring what else can Canva do is, like, just go through every once in a while, just go through the random templates that are there right here on the screen. You'll find so many ideas. Right here is a mind map template as well. Then of course the brand, again, if it's a situation wherein your school has, your school has gotten Canva education, you might want to stick to a particular logo, a few colors, a few fonts, a few text, sorry, some kind of text headings, some graphics, some icons that are related to your brand. And you, as the principal, I really want all my teachers to be using those brand colors, those brand elements. So I can set up those brand guidelines, and I can make sure that everybody in my team uses all these things whenever they are creating a question paper, a notice, anything, right? Canva AI, amazing thing, keeps adding. There are more and more things that keep getting added every single day. There are a lot of new launches that have come very recently. Apps, again, we will talk about apps in detail very soon. Apps, there are some more than 200 apps, that external apps that have been integrated within Canva. So you can do much more from within Canva. You don't have to kind of go to another page and come back here. And in fact, at that point, I have just a little thing to share. In fact, as Deepti ma'am was just sharing, ma'am was sharing about digital newsletters, right? Um, I know of a school. Um, I will of course name it, not name the school, but a very, high profile, a very fancy school. What they had was, they had weekly newsletters. They have weekly newsletters. So there was this very, very complicated software that this particular person used to send out that particular newsletter, that weekly newsletter to all parents. Used to go out every, I'm so sorry, goes out every Friday or Saturday, I'm not sure. But it's a very complicated software that they use. And the other day I was sitting with them, and they said, I just could not understand. I said, ma'am, I'm sorry, how are you even, how are you even able to understand what color, what font? I'm just completely blank. And her response to that was like, her volume just lowered, and she was like, Vibha, I just go to Canva, create the newsletter, bring those images and upload here. I can't work on this particular software. I don't even know what the software was. But this is how a lot of people have been using Canva smartly. And she just lowered her volume. Don't let anyone else hear, okay? I was like, okay, great. That's one hack that she just shared with me. But at that, I'm just going to come back, and I'm going to talk a little bit about multimodal resources. So, the ones who were here with us in the last session, we created a digital poster. Now, this was the poster that we had created. I am going to quickly show it to you. So, all the things that ma'am just spoke about, ma'am spoke about, visual and textual. We started designing this particular poster thinking of, let me zoom in a bit as well. Right. We started designing this particular poster thinking of the fact that, okay, we are creating one design, and we'll be using it in multiple manners. Right. I have created a poster. It is definitely visual and textual. This was a complete template. No design skills from my end. Okay. This is visual and textual. Then what I did was, I added some Indian music, amazing audios, amazing music that are available. So sorry for the sound at my end. But a lot of music, a lot of audios that are available, I added those to the digital poster. So the visual plus textual bit was meant for the time if I want to kind of print out that particular poster and stick it onto a board. But if I may want to, share that particular poster, let's say as a link with my parents community, what I can do is I can add a little audio to it so that it can be shared ahead. Of course, what I did was, I went ahead, I added a QR code as well. That, for example, there's an exhibition happening in the school, and I have invited parents. I'm the history teacher. I've invited parents to join us, and I've invited them, and I'm saying that, okay, here are these 30 posters that my kids have created. And if you want to know more about their research, you just pull out your phone and scan the QR code, and you can find out all details about their project. That just makes it a combination of textual and kinesthetic, right? Visual and kinesthetic. And of course, auditory and textual, it still remains. So what we had done in the last session was we had created this particular poster, which if printed out can be a very basic one. If it's shared out as a link, it can work in a different manner. And one design, but we can use it in multiple manners. Now what we're going to start is we are going to talk about multimode fusion, as ma'am was just saying. We're going to talk a lot about that, and we're going to create a website. Okay. Now again, this is a question that we received today itself from we were doing a Canva session, and one of the participants who just stood up and he was like, oh great, we can create a website, I didn't know about that. We can create a website, but Canva, can Canva host a website? Canva host the domain of that particular website? Yes, it very well can, right? What I'm going to just show you is we are going to start creating a Canva website. And before that, I want you to make sure that you keep your minds open in terms of uh, we don't really have to stick to the template about Canva. If I'm just going to open an education website template, having said that, there are a lot of templates, no doubt about it. But let's say I come across a social media design, a square design, but I really like it and I want to use it in my website. I can very well do that as well. It has an amazing, Canva gives us an amazing option of resizing any design that we have. So it could be a square design that I like, but I want to use it in a website, I can do that. Now, what you see right here on my screen are a lot of templates, as you just saw, educational website templates that I can make use of. And if you see, there are a few topic specific websites as well. Again, a lot of your multimodal resources are always are already created within Canva. We just have to pick and start using, right? We just have to pick and start, maybe change a few things here and there and start working on those. What you see right here are all website templates, right? I'm just going to pick up one and we'll start creating it. I'll just show you a few ideas. And this is something I always say. Um, you know, we are sharing a few things. We are here to do that. But please keep thinking and keep writing in the chat box. There, I'm sure you have better ideas than us. Maybe you're seeing this and you feel like, oh, I want to make use of this particular thing in this particular manner. I am the class teacher of so and so class. I want to make use of this. So anything that you can think of, please keep writing in the chat box. We'd love to hear from you as well. So what you see here, I'm just going to get started. I'm starting a template, starting to use a template. Give me one more second. It's up there. First suggestion, always rename your design. Make sure you give it a name, because again, your brain is going to thank you a few months from now, because say 6 months from now you realize, oh, now the new session is started, I had learned how to do this back in November. I want to find out what did I do, and there are thousands of designs within your Canva page and you're not able to find out, what was it. Use folders and rename your designs. That's something very, very, very important to do. Please make sure you do that. And again, organization is a very personal thing. Name it what makes sense to you. So what I do is I do a lot of demos, and I like to name it based on the date that I did it, so that very quickly I can see, oh, this was a demo thing that I made. That's not a design that I was actually using. Right. With that, this is a page that we have. Now let's start creating something. Let's start creating a website for, let's say, a student portfolio. Right now, sorry. Now, a student portfolio can be created in multiple ways. We can also create folders within Canva. Right? I'm just going to stop for a second here. I'm so sorry for diverting. But the folders thing that I just shared with you, that is also something that I can create. So let's say I'm the class teacher of grade 7B, right? I create 30 folders at the start of the session and I assign those 30 folders to my 30 kids. And I say, okay, from now on, all the things that you're creating, all the designs, all the projects, all the reports, all the, maybe all the rewards and the awards that you're winning, all the certificates that you're winning, just start collating them all in one place, right? That is one way of creating digital portfolios. You can have folders for students. One way, of course, is creating a website for them, right? And showing them and teaching them collaboration at the same time, right? So if I say, let's say I am starting to create now, again I'm going to elements. Maybe you want to add your own picture here, and you want to say, hi, I'm your class teacher, hi 7B, I'm your class teacher. Please do that. Right here is the uploads option. You have to upload a file from your end, your pretty looking picture, upload that, or an audio, or sorry, a video, an audio, anything it is that you need, upload that, and you can start adding it here. For now, I'm sorry, I don't have any pretty looking pictures. I'm just coming back to elements, and I'm using a stock image. There are a lot of stock images available. Again, I don't need to go to another tab, go ahead, search for a picture, then download and then upload. There are a lot of very, very good quality images available, some millions and millions of good quality pictures available, right? I can make good use of those. I will not spend too much time in looking for one. Maybe she looks like me, I don't know. Maybe she looks like the uh class teacher of 7B. Oh, there it is. Maths has come back. All the maths teachers here. Um, right here are a lot, as I said, there are millions and millions of images. I can come here and even do a little bit of filtering. I want a red image. I want a vertical image. I want a horizontal image. Things like those. Price doesn't matter for us. We have Canva education completely free of cost, right? So right here are these images, and of course, if I'm not happy with these, I can always get Canva's AI to generate more images, right? uh, this is something we have spoken about. I will say it again. Your result is going to be as good as your input, your prompt, right? So the output is going to be as good as your input. Explain what do you want. Maybe you're wanting to create a scene. I'm sorry, you're wanting to create a scene where um, some 30 kids are standing in the class or sitting in the class, and a teacher is teaching and things like those. This is something I used to create my teachers day post as well. There are kids sitting in front, and there's an Indian teacher who's teaching, and this is how the classroom looks like. Be very, very specific what it is that you need, and you can ask it to create images as well, generate images as well. I'm sticking to a very, very basic prompt. I should have written, do I want like an animated image? Do I want a real image? What is it that I need? Right? My prompt was super basic. And I think we've got some pretty good results. Right? Again, I could have said teacher standing in front of the blackboard, teacher sitting with the students, and things like those. I could have been more specific. If you see, it has given an animated image as well. Right? The teacher wearing a sari or a salwar kameez or a kurta pajama or a suit or whatever it is. Always be specific, right? And this, let's start making something. Welcome to, what was it, class 7B, right? And if I feel like I want to make it a little more colorful for my students, I'm sure this is something, especially for the ones who have been using it for long, I'm sure but this is a little very interesting thing that Canva gives us. There are, of course, a lot of colors that I can choose from. I can create my own colors as well. If I feel like, okay, no, none of these shades are what I want, I can just pick up this. I can choose my solid color, and I can create my color. Just this circle, I can create my color as well. Not just a solid color, I can also create gradient colors, right? So let's say I like this, and I really want to create a gradient color as well. Look at this. I can add as many colors as I want, of course, to minimum two, and I can go ahead and I can create a gradient. Now again, be as creative as you can. This is something our kids also love doing. They love playing around with colors and just bring out. I've seen one teacher doing a filler activity of sorts, wherein she was like, oh, I really need to engage them in some manner. The activity that I've done with them is sit and create a gradient. Pick up as many colors as you want. I think she gave a maximum color as well. Create a great gradient color for us to use it in an annual day design. So all those 30 kids were just sitting and putting all their brains and creating a gradient color as well. Coming back here, right here, what I can do is I can have, let's say this is my picture, I can have my school logo here. I'm just writing down school logo. Of course, I don't have any school logo right now, so I'm just writing down the school logo, right? It is grouped. I can write down that, and then I can add another section, and I can start creating a page for every student, right? Just for the sake of visibility, I'm just keeping it white for now, just in case anyone has any issues at their end. Don't want it to be a situation where you can't see my screen. Right here is something that I can start adding now. Again, if I want, if I want to start with a template from scratch, a white screen, a white canvas from scratch, I can do that. Or if I feel like, oh, I saw this one resume template in some other template section, and I want to make use of that for this, pick it up, put it here and resize it. Let's do that. I'll come back to the home page, and let's do that. Let me write down portfolio. Okay, we are on education websites as of now, but this is also pretty good. You can go for non-education websites as well and pick up a template from there as well. That's absolutely not a problem. Okay, this is what it has given me. What I'm going to do now is I am just going to pick this one page, and I'm going to come back and paste it here. Oops, sorry, give me 1 second. There's some issue in my end. No, give me 1 more second, please. Okay, there you go. What I've done is kind of mixed two templates, right? If I have this one page, I've added this one more page, wherein maybe I want my kids to work. Now, let's say Aryan, right? And I want my child to write about Aryan, right? That is something that they can write, and I can ask them to add their images here. Okay, again, of course, the child might want to add their actual picture. I don't have actual pictures right now. This is a section that I dedicate to Aryan. Aryan, you are in charge of keeping this updated. You are in charge of making sure that all your different projects, all your different reports, all your different rewards and awards, everything is being listed here, right? Of course, for a student of class 7, I might want to remove this, right? I might want to remove an experience section from their end, right? I might want to say that, okay, write down. Okay, why is this not? Yeah, there you go. Let's say awards, and let's say in this situation projects. As again ma'am was saying, we can have like a design thinking project happening where the child is supposed to be reporting whatever is happening, reporting all their happenings and everything in a bullet forms situation. I can have, let's say, this is like the projects that are being undertaken. I can have another page which talks about the design thinking project that they're doing. The whole page is dedicated to that, right? This is one section that we have created. Now, in this situation, we might want to call it Aryan's Gallery, right? Now, again, this is something we always hear from teachers. Oh, this is too much work. I don't want to do it. I will have to sit and duplicate this page for 30 children. I am not doing that. Don't do that. Let your kids do that, right? That's not your job. You just have to create one page, setting your expectations, what it is that you need from the students, and you just make sure that You've set the expectations, you've made sure you want to remove this. Now if you see this, I like the template, but I don't want my kids to see any of these images because they might not be able to relate to it. I just click on this, I click the delete button here, and the frame is remaining. The picture goes away. Click here, delete button, picture goes away, frame remains. Click here, delete button, picture goes away, frame remains. Because this is how I want to give it to Aryan or the rest of my class as well, right? So I can come here, I can create that this kind of section, this kind of template once, and tell students that okay, now you might want to just write Aryan, you might just want to write student's name, or a, a child who does not belong to your class, because that one child will feel like, oh, I had the advantage. Don't do that. Use any random name, and then you can just kind of share this particular design with all your kids and ask them to create copies and create their own sections and keep that particular section updated, right? And of course, right here is something, because this is my home page, right? I might want to say that okay, this is my class, so I might want, that's, it's also a good idea for the class teacher to have one page writing a little bit about myself, what do I like, what do I teach, right? And here, let's do one thing. I'll create one button which says about Vibha, which is the class teacher, and I'm just writing down names here, which is, first was Aryan, I'm sorry, Neha, and okay, I'm just completely blank, Ruchi, right? And let's say Sheena, right? um Now what I can do is, on the home page itself I can hyperlink the different sections, right? Now Aryan's section, if you see on my screen, was this one, right? What I do is I right click and I copy link to this page. I don't want the link of the whole design, I want the link of this page. I'm copying this link, come back to the home page, Aryan, either you use control K or command K, or you use this three dots and you click on link and you link this. This is basically what are we doing? We're hyperlinking the website as well, right? You must have seen, I'm sorry for saying this term, I was about to say you must have seen websites. I'm so sorry for saying that. But you must have observed, on home pages, it has a link to different sub pages that are there within that particular website. So that's also something that we can create. Now, again, what I am showing right now is an example of a student portfolio website. We can very well use this exact concept to make a website of, let's say, I'm the maths teacher. There's a lot of maths happening today. I'm the maths teacher, right? And I want to create a website for all the things that I'm going to teach to my grade 7 across this year, right? What I do is I dedicate one page each to each chapter, and I start adding basic resources. Now resources could be the NCERT chapter, the PDF which is there could be some videos, there could be some different podcasts that I want my students to listen to. One way is, again, addressing this question that might be going in your head, I am not making these 13 pages for my maths grade 7. That is one thing. Please don't, that's okay. Another great activity for the students to do, another great group activity for the students to do, right at the start of the year, you tell, okay, these four kids in charge of chapter 1, these four kids in charge of chapter 2, these four kids in charge of chapter 3, and so on and so forth. And as and when you're teaching, that group is in charge of updating the resources. Now resources, again, as I said, resources can be hyperlinked from anywhere. Could be a YouTube video, could be a could be the NCERT PDF, could be some websites, could be anything, right? Could be a game. So you create sections for each page and you let students create a website of grade 7. And you can always say, if you create a grade 7 great math website, we can share this with their upcoming batch, and so on and so forth. That just really encourages them a lot. And with that, I'm just going to stop. I feel like I'm just talking a little too much, but I'm going to stop for a second here. Any thoughts, any chat, any ideas that have come to your mind you want to, you want to share with us. I'm sorry, it's not the most amazing design, this one, because I started playing with gradients. But please explore the templates. I'm sorry, I should have shown you one more thing. Sorry, I promise I'll stop speaking after that. Then after that, it's your turn. I'm just going to come back because this is something I wanted to show you. I'm going to come back here. Okay. Let's say these are all verticals. Okay, this one. Let's pick this one. Let's say I really like this template. Oops, that's also horizontal. My bad. Okay, let's take this one. This is a vertical one. I really like this particular template. I want to use it in my website, but I want it in a horizontal format, right? What I do is I pick this particular page, right? I go back, I add it to my website here. I go right here on top. If you see my screen, this is a horizontal page in my website. This is another horizontal section in my website. This is a vertical section in my website, which I don't want. I want my kids to have a horizontal section. I just go here on top, resize. I click on website because that's what I want. And I make sure that I resize the current page, not all pages. Done. And I resize this design. Of course, I have the option to copy and resize it in another design as well. But in this particular situation, I want it to happen within this particular design, right? I can resize, it'll just give me a horizontal view of the same thing, right? I can make manual changes. I can, again, every single thing that I pick up, every single template that I pick up within Canva is editable. So I can just make use of this. Sorry for this. There is a little lag at my end. Let me
Okay,
refresh.
Vibha, I'm going to come in
Yes.
for a bit now. There are a few questions which are popping up again in the chat. So let's address those. There are some
Yes.
people who are saying that we have registered for Canva education, but we don't seem to be getting the access. Some of you know that you haven't got access by just looking at one thing. So if you go onto the home page, you will be able to see education there. I know of teachers who say we haven't got any reply back, but they don't know that they already have access to it. So Vibha, if you can go back to the home page, can you see education right on top there? So if you log in and you can see that you are already in. So if you don't have that, then there is every chance that the document that you have put in is not the right one. So try with another document. There are questions. So I was in a session today where Canva team was there, and we were talking to the teachers about how Canva is free and how it was created by educators for educators. The founders themselves are educators. And they said there is nothing hidden in the fact that when we say that Canva is going to be free, it is going to be free. So there was a question that you're giving this free for teachers. Is it free for students as well? Yes, it is. It's going to be free. So get your school to register for it, and then you get yourself, your colleagues, and your students to register and get into it for one time, and then you are good to go. There were also questions on how are we going to create these teams and how are we going to do that. So there are sessions that we're going to have for them, but I would suggest that you look out for Canva India, the YouTube channel. Subscribe to that. There are some amazing, amazing videos there for you to be able to look at those videos at your own time. Some of you asking if you can, probably do hyperlinking again, or can you please explain again? I've shared the YouTube link. Please go ahead and look at that recording from today, and you will be able to see what we are showcasing here. Also, I think a lot of you want to do this for your own teams in your own school. That's fantastic. And you're asking us to show and share the resources that we're using. The resources are just live demonstrations. So if you want to just have a look at what Vibha did with creating the artifacts, just have a look at them and you will be able to do that as well. There was also a question on, when we look at the mobile, and if we are on Canva Education, will we be able to see the same things? Yes. Once you come onto Canva Education, all the resources that you have, you will be able to see them in your on your phone as well. And the last thing which I thought was, something very important, and also should be mentioned here, is that when we look at Canva as a resource, one of you asked, how do we get a template? How do we create a template? Like Vibha shared one for social media for you. So when you are sharing the resource or the template or the product or the artifact that you have created and you want to share it, if you have Canva Education and you click on share, you will get a template link. So whatever you created, you will be able to click on template link and you will be able to share that with your colleagues. And one last thing, and I really really loved it, is said, please don't put too many questions here, it's distracting. So once a teacher, always a teacher. So I really love that. So we do have a tab where you can ask your Q&A. So please go ahead and do that, but don't distract Jasmine. She's looking at this session very, very, with her blinkers on. So please don't disturb her while you do that. So I think this was amazing, Vibha. I think some of you would be ready with showcasing your website. So Vibha is going to open the floor for you. Anybody who wants to showcase, please go ahead and do that.
Yes, you will have to raise your hand. And just in case, I'm pretty sure you know this already, but just taking one more second and showing you this right here, just beside your share button, is the publish website. And it's just this easy. You click here. You can even, of course, you can go ahead and customize your URL. I want demo November, I don't want the dashes, I just want this. I can do that, and I just have to click on publish. That's it. That's all it takes. Whenever I make a new change, I have to make sure I publish once again. I have to republish. Link remains same. So not like every time I make a change, I have to share the website with somebody else. That's it. Publish website, choose your link, publish. That's all. I just have to click on this and get started with the sharing process. All right. As ma'am was just saying, anyone who's ready to share a website or a design that they have created, I am sorry, give me 1 second. I will just be able to. You'll have to raise your hand to let us know. And just a quick reminder, quickly check if you've not raised your hand by mistake, just in case
As
that
Bhargav,
is
I
the
think
situation.
Bhargav who's saying he wants to share.
You'll have to raise your hand, because just sharing in the chat, I will not get to see it in the where I want to share it with you. Okay, I can see Bhargav ji. There you go. You should have access now. Bhargav ji, if you can hear us. And maybe Dr. Priyanka Shah, if you are ready. Promote. Okay, Bhargav ji, please go ahead. I can see you there. I hope you can hear us.
Vibha, we can also put up the feedback link
Yes, I will.
for the participants. Thank
Yes,
you.
absolutely.
May I share now, ma'am?
Absolutely, sir. Please do. Let me stop sharing. Please go ahead.
So there are so many designs I've made for especially for my school, for some banners, and especially for my young children. This is a Speak Make a banner which I've made for our school when Salil Bhattji was visiting our school. This is for our class 4 solo singing competition.
Oh, lovely. These are
That's
really
nice.
nice.
Is there some audio playing as well? Maybe we are not able to.
No, no, ma'am. It is
Oh,
only just my mic. This is for class 5 solo keyboard playing competition.
Oh, nice.
This is book cover, teacher's book cover, which I made for my wife actually for her school.
so
Oh,
sweet.
you must make your wife also now to start using Canva education.
Yes, definitely, ma'am. I'm encouraging her.
Lovely.
Actually, when we started today's workshop, if you can see, just a second. Today I have joined the screen on the two device parallelly,
Lovely.
so I can see the webinar as well as I can use the Canva as well.
Lovely.
I'm using the dual monitor screen.
Nice. Very nice.
And this I once when Canva has launched AI, I also used AI to try to make a happy new year banner also. And as I want to introduce my recording personality because I am T series certified recorder also, so I incorporated this mixer and mics also within the banner.
Lovely. So you can see that if you are creative, then
Yes,
using
ma'am.
Canva is a double whammy.
Yes, ma'am. And this
Beautiful.
is actually this is actually personal thing, but this is my whole portfolio which I have made through Canva. My breakup syllabus, proofs of our online sessions, the videos we made during the Corona time to keep our school and our children enthusiastic and running. Various website and competitions online we have conducted, and our students who are playing in the assembly also.
Lovely.
We mostly motivate our students to play and do everything in the assemblies in our school. These are some
Fantastic. I
links.
think this was a session that was done by one of the conversadors where they spoke about that how can you amp up your own portfolio as a teacher. So I think you have been a good student. Can we have somebody else share as well? Thank you so much, sir, for sharing
Uh,
the amazing
yes,
work
ma'am.
that you're doing.
And
Please.
this was my award for long service.
Oh, lovely. Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing, sir.
Thank
Who
you,
goes
ma'am.
next? Vibha.
Dr. Priyanka, if you would like to share, thank you so much for sharing, sir. Dr. Priyanka, if you would like to share, I have given you the rights. You'll have to accept it at your end.
And you can choose somebody else as well, and then we can close the session.
Yes. Supriya ji?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Hi,
Ma'am,
please.
some internet trouble is coming at my end, so I'm not able to share my file. But if it is
Sure.
possible, will you share your email ID so that I can share my work which I have done on Canva? Actually,
Sure.
from
Okay, so
last
Priyanka, what
seven
we are going to
years,
do
from
is
last
that
7 years, I'm using Canva, ma'am.
great. Priyanka,
And
there was a template that Vibha shared right at the beginning for social media. Please put it up, tag us, and we will see it
yeah,
there.
done,
Because I'm
done.
afraid that during the session we will not have that kind of time to be able to, showcase
Yes,
your work.
ma'am.
But thank you so much for volunteering. Anybody else who's ready to share? One more Vibha, and then we can close the meeting.
I have just sent Supriya ji a request. You'll have to. Okay, I'm
Okay.
just sending one to Meena ji as well. You'll have to accept it from your end to be able to see it.
Ma'am, I'm not able to find that template. Will you please share it once
Please
again?
share it once again, ma'am. Sure. All right. Sushma ji, Meena ji, and let's say Manju ji, Manju Jha. Whoever accepts it first. We will, as ma'am was just saying, we will take one more. And let's say Tenzin ji, if you can. Okay, I have sent a few requests. They'll need to be, you'll need to. Please don't share any links here in the chat box. We are going to lose it. we we will not be able to catch up with the whole chat. Okay, Sony ji, if you want to accept, I have just shared it with you as well. I
Okay,
think
so we have put in our feedback form. Please fill this up because this is where your certification will come in. And we know that every teacher needs to do a professional development and get credits. You need 500, sorry, 50 hours for the whole year, not 500. Don't kill me for that. 50 sessions, 50 sessions, 50 hours, 50 credits for the whole year. Please go ahead and fill up this feedback form. And some of you are saying that it's not working. We know that it's working. So please go ahead and do that. And just like Jasmine, I'm going to say no more links sharing on the chat because you're confusing the others. And see,
yes.
now they're saying send the link again because your links are coming in and they don't know. Yes, Anu, you can do 25 hours of CPD on your own and 25%, 25 hours is with CBSC. So please, this is qualified for that session. So 24, 25 and 25. So please go ahead and put this in your docket and be proud of it. Yes.
Thank
So
you so much. Just one last thing from my end. Please keep up since there are a lot of you. It might take some about 10 days, 10 working days for us to reach back with the certificates. So we'll just request you to have that kind of patience. Thank you. Thank you so much.
thank you and bye bye and